Hello again. So, my final look at the female allegorical figures on coins is using the country that is probably best known for its use of allegorical figures, at least in modern times, the United States of America. Now, when discussions started for an obverse design on the newly independent United States of America, one of the suggestions was to have George Washington on the obverse. In fact, there are even pattern coins made for it. But that idea was not taken well. Kings put their images on coins while they're still alive, it was felt. So, in fact, the US Congress would later even pass a law that required that any US government currency only have allegorical figures or portraits of people that are deceased. So, start off by showing this example of this is a large cent, by the way. It's about the size of a $50, and it has what is called the matron head liberty, is what is on here. It has the hair in a bun with some of it hanging down the back, and a tiara with the word liberty on it. And now, what I did want to do, though, is that even though I don't have an example of this coin, is I did want to mention the first American 1 cent that was struck with, and it had, of course, a Lady Liberty, but it didn't go over well. And I'll just get the book under here. Okay, there's Lady Liberty there. And the reverse was a chain, 15 links representing the 15 states strongly united. And Lady Liberty, just a plain, just a regular woman, no decorations, no hat or anything like that, no headpiece, but with long flowing hair. Now, this particular coin did not fare well. It was not at all popular, and of course you can guess. First of all, the long flowing hair design made her look like she had had a nasty fright. And the 15 link chain on the reverse, while intended to show unity of the 15 states, others saw the chain as a symbol of slavery. So, while slavery and indentured servitude was still legal in most of the United States at the time, most people still found the subject distasteful. Like, imagine a modern coin that has an image that reminds people of the death penalty or abortion, and you get the idea that it would make people uncomfortable. So the next cent, when they switched over to the small cent, we have what is called an Indian head cent. And as you can probably guess, it's not intended to portray a North American Indian, but is actually Lady Liberty wearing an Indian headdress, or war bonnet, as it is called. I'm not sure which particular indigenous group in North America this style of war bonnet came from. I'm guessing that this design was probably just a generic mix of various pictures that people have seen of different war bonnets. But indeed, it is a young lady in the Indian headdress, not an actual, say, North American Indian chief. Now, this next one, 5 cent silver piece, quite small, to say it's only 5 cents. It's usually called a half dime in the United States, or was. It has a design known as the Seated Liberty, which is copied from this. This is the British penny. Now, while this one's dated 1967, this particular design has been used on British coins going all the way back into the 1700s. And so the Americans copied that design to have a Seated Liberty design. Also have a dime with the seated design and a quarter. But yeah, they're very well worn, so not really a good representation. Getting a seated, of course, with full design on it is pretty expensive. Later, in 1883, the nickel 5 cents, called a nickel, of course, used another Lady Liberty with the tiara and hair tied in a bun. This design, though, was not well liked, and it was eventually changed in 1913. This example, of course, is well worn, but she has a Liberty tiara. The Liberty is is pretty much gone on this one, so it's not very clear. Considered to be perhaps one of the uglier American coins, but I won't really get into that. Another design that actually that's done previous back in starting in the 1809 to 1937 on the dime anyway, was this. This is the capped bust design. We have Lady Liberty here wearing a Phrygian cap, a soft cloth cap on the top, along with a band held on with a band that says Liberty across it. Fairly popular design, and it was also used on the half dimes, quarters, and half dollars at around this time as well. So pretty nice design, I thought, though the eagle on the back looks kind of scrawny, but that's another story. So next example I have here is the design that was used from 1892 to 1916, and that was the Barber design. It was called it's referred to as Liberty Head, but it was named after the designer Charles E. Barber. It has Lady Liberty with the Phrygian cap, and also the tiara partially hidden in her hair, but there's a tiara in there with the word Liberty on it, and laurel leaves as well. This was considered also to be one of the less attractive Liberty designs, possibly because the laurel leaves on it make her look like a young Julius Caesar rather than Liberty. Next, another three designs that I know were definitely much more popular. We have, starting off here, and all started in 1916. The Barber designs were replaced by the winged Liberty Dime, yes, usually referred to as the Mercury Dime, and I have a video detailing more about this particular coin, so please take the time to watch it if you like. And then I also have a standing Liberty quarter, which is a very nice design, I thought. And another very nice design, the Walking Liberty. Now, the Walking Liberty design was probably inspired by this French design. And I should also mention that the Standing Liberty quarter, as nice as it was, had some problems. One of them was the date was too high on the design and wore away very quickly. And generally, you don't want the date wearing off so quickly. The Walking Liberty was such a popular design that it was chosen more recently for the American Silver Bullion rounds. So there's a very nice design here. So you see that. Might see much more detail on this if I can get the camera to focus. There we go. That's better. Yeah, that is a beauty. Yeah. Oh yes, MS69, not quite an MS70. I do not know why, but it wasn't. And then finally we have the Morgan dollar. Another beautiful design, so popular in fact that some collectors specialize in Morgans, collecting only Morgans, attempting to get every date and every variety and mint mark they possibly can. And I also have a video that details the story of the Morgan dollar as well. And please check it out if you have the chance. And so that's our American allegorical designs. Again, that's only a few of them, in fact. The ones that I actually have, there's lots more. Some of them really nice, but I just wish I had the money to afford some of the gold coins that have the really beautiful designs. So if you like the video, please don't forget to subscribe, and of course ring the bell. And thank you very much for watching.